Hey, my dear friend, you've probably heard of the great pyramids, of mighty pharaohs, and of ancient mummies, wrapped in linen, lying silent in the sands of time. But have you ever wondered, how did those bodies, once full of life, come to rest so perfectly preserved, even after thousands of years? Tonight, I'll take you back far, far back in time, over 5,000 years ago, to the land of the Nile. There, beneath the golden sun and sacred temples, began one of the most mysterious rituals in human history, the art of mummification. In ancient Egypt, death wasn't seen as an end. It was a transitioner journey to the afterlife, to a place where the soul could live forever, but only if the body was carefully prepared. When a wealthy person died despicably, a priest, noble, or a pharaoh, the family didn't mourn in the way we do today. Instead, they began preparations for the most sacred ritual of all, the preservation of the body. They brought in the older specialists. But more than that, these were men of sacred knowledge, guardians of ancient secrets. They knew the body better than any doctor, and the soul better than any priest. The body was taken to a place known as the House of Purification, a sacred chamber near the Nile River, where holy water would cleanse both flesh and spirit. The lead embalmer began with a ritual. He gently touched the forehead with a stone blade and whispered a prayer to Isis, the goddess of magic and protection. Then came a delicate, almost surgical process. They made a small cut on the left side of the body and carefully removed the organs. The stomach, intestines, lungs, and liver were taken out, washed, dried, and stored in canopic jars, each protected by a different god. The heart, believed to be the seat of the soul, was often kept inside the body, lest it was damaged. The brain, oddly enough, was not valued. They would insert a long metal hook through the nostril and slowly pull the brain out in pieces, believing it served no purpose in the afterlife. Now came the most crucial step, drying. The body was covered and filled with a natural salt called natrona white, powdery mix found in the desert. This pulled all the moisture from the body. For 40 days, the body rested in silence. Each day, embalmers would check the progress, whispering prayers to protect the spirit on its journey. If even one part of the process was wrong, the body could rot, and the soul would be lost forever. Once fully dried, the body was soft, like leather, darkened and light, but ready for the next stage. The embalmers began restoring the person's appearance. After all, they believed you had to look your best when meeting the gods. The eyes were replaced with polished stones or dried onions. The skin was rubbed with oils and fragrant resin, then sometimes dyed red, a color of life and power. Broken teeth were fixed. Nails were cleaned. Even makeup was applied if the person was noble. Now came the long and sacred process of wrapping. Layer by layer, the body was wrapped in linen strips. Between each fold, priests would hide protective amulets, tiny, magical charms for strength, safety, and guidance in the afterlife. As they wrapped, they chanted lines from the Book of the Dead, a guidebook for souls passing through the underworld. Finally, a mask made of gold for pharaohs, or wood for others, was placed over the face. This was the final image the soul would wear for eternity. The mummy was then placed inside a coffin, sometimes 2 or even 3, and sealed inside a tomb. Food, wine, clothes, statues, and even games were buried beside them for use in the next world. Then, the door to the tomb was sealed. Darkness, silence. But to the Egyptians, this was not the end. This was only the beginning of a journey through the stars, where the soul would walk among gods. as long as the body remained whole. And now, you know the secret. The ancient embalmers have long vanished. Their tools lie buried, their prayers faded into dust. But their work remains. Still, beneath the sand, their mummies lie silent, watching, waiting. And as long as we remember their stories, maybe, just maybe, they're still alive in some small, eternal way. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next one. Your support truly means a lot. Sweet dreams, and see you in the next video.